Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. This time for today's video, the beer is courtesy of Keith from 93 Lumber. Thanks so much, Keith. I really appreciate it. So it's Tuesday, and Tuesday I try to test my palate. This one's kind of weird because I know like what jasmine green tea tastes like. I even had another cup of it today just to really have it in my head. But I think there's enough going on. Like, I don't have jasmine green tea in beer often, obviously. This is a table lager. It's only 2.6% ABV, which is not my norm. So I think it's appropriate for Tuesday. Alternate ending beer company, Hanzo, jasmine green tea, table lager, like I said. I can tell you with no ego, this is our finest beer. If on your journey you should encounter God, God will be delighted. Well, there you go. Cool can art. Okay, let's get into it. Ooh. Well, maybe I shouldn't have swung it around to show you. Wow, so that's about the most that I've had in a beer in a while. Kind of wish I poured it and then talked about it to give it time to go down. Oh, man. But we don't edit here. Not much, right? So we're going to power through this and make it as awkward as possible. And when I look back at the analytics, this section will have very, very low views, and people will scroll forward where they see me actually messing around with the beer and not overly drying off the can to waste time. Isn't that great can art, though? I mean, look at that. You got a samurai sword. You got, just some cool... I got nothing else. We're just going to go through it. I'm going to smell it in here first, and then maybe also out of the can. See if I can get through it. Look how... There are some sediments in there. It's like this milky, super light straw, almost like a green-blue color, with a lot of yellow. The head is, bone white, well, I shouldn't say super compact bubbles, but pretty compact bubbles. Let's get into the aroma. I'm mostly smelling a very delicate, light lager. A little bit of that straw thing. Definitely I can smell the fermentation. What I call that lagered funk aspect. I get some of that as well. There's a brightness to it. It doesn't quite hit lemon for me, but it's like how that can be a brightening agent in something. Slight doughiness. Let's see if smelling out of the can I get anything different. It's mostly the same. I do get a little bit of green tea out of the can that I'm not getting out of the glass. I was just watching Joe from the Beer Patrol did his 6th anniversary, and he compared Heady Topper to Focal. And I don't want to spoil too much about his review if you haven't watched it. So go watch it for sure. But he enjoys those beers in glasses, but also out of the cans to interesting results. So I'll just leave it that way, that maybe there is something about smelling and tasting directly from the can. But yeah, I feel like we're at a point where I'm going to power through this. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Keith. Hope you're doing well. And make sure, guys, you check him out at 93 Lumber, all spelled out. I'll add him in the description box below. Like the aroma, everything is soft. It is flavorful. Nothing has a huge impact, though, just like the aroma. I do get some nice, like sweet, almost corn notes. A little bit of that dough. That vibrancy I was talking about, where it doesn't quite get to lemon, but it's definitely in that wheelhouse, or in that realm, I should say. Very soft tea. And again, I had a cup of jasmine green tea maybe an hour ago. And it's not, that aspect is not hitting too much. It has an herbaceous tea note for sure. Do I go specifically to jasmine? Not the jasmine I had earlier. It was the from the Brooklyn Tea Company. Their was it Jasmine Dragon Pearl Tea, specifically is what I had. Again, what an interesting looking color and everything. You know, some of that color, now to think about it, could be like I'm such an idiot when I was talking about that before, like blue and yellow and green. Yeah, it's probably the green tea adding to that color. Very cloudy. It's interesting. There's another soft, sweet element. Not the rice element, not that doughy thing. Yeah, there's something else that's very familiar. The more I'm sipping, I do get some lemon. And because of the herbaceousness, it's a little bit more lemongrassy. This is super tasty. For again, it's soft, it's delicate, but like the flavors are there. It's crisp. You could crush how many of these on a hot day? It happens to be kind of a cold, rainy day, but yeah, this is super good. Keith, man, thank you so much for sending it. Definitely, as a fan of green tea, it's cool to have that little bit extra oomph from the herbaceousness of it, but I don't get a ton of green tea specifically. But yeah, super tasty. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing about these, right? So Keith, thanks again. Really appreciate it. Make sure you guys check him out. I will add him in the description box below. Once you're done checking Keith out, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews, both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.